Today, I'm going to be ranking the 12 most popular new Oculus Quest 2 and Meta Quest 3 games, so you'll know exactly what games to invest your hard-earned money in. These are the games, and I'll be ranking them from S tier, which means the game is
perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
And D tier, which means the game is...
It's alright, like...
So I have bought all these games in order to try them so I can rank them as honestly as possible. So now I'm poor, so please subscribe. Anyway, let's get ranking. I said ranking. So first, we're going to start off strong with Arizona Sunshine 2. Now, for those who don't know what this game is, it's basically a zombie survival shooting game with co-op multiplayer story mode and a multiplayer horde mode. Now, for me, the story is great. The gunplay and controls for the game are solid. Now, it isn't really bringing anything new to the zombie survival genre, but one thing it does have is a dog. Yes, a dog. And here's a picture of my dog for absolutely no reason. Now, people have said the game is a little short for the price tag, and I partly have to agree with that. Even though there's replay value in the horde mode and multiplayer, I enjoyed this game a lot. So I'm going to put this in A tier. So next up, we've got Lego Bricktales. So unless you've been living under a Lego shipwreck, cut that. So unless you've been living under a Lego shaped rock or brick or both, you will know what Lego is. Lego Bricktales brings Lego to VR in the form of a puzzle game that allows you to use mixed reality to solve Lego orientated puzzles in your own living room on a Meta Quest platform. Now, the game looks absolutely gorgeous, and the mixed reality does really make you feel as if you have Lego puzzles in your own home. The puzzles get more complex as they go along, and there is a sense of accomplishment in completing the challenges. However, and this is a big however, the game does come across as a little boring, and it can get old pretty quickly. And there should be a creative mode where you can build anything you want, just like Minecraft, but it just doesn't have that. So I'm going to put this in C tier. So next we have Arashi Castle of Sin. So this is going to be an interesting one. Now, this game follows you as an assassin on a quest across feudal Japan to eliminate a bandit group causing havoc. It's kind of meant to be like Tenchu in VR, which I'm completely here for, as Tenchu is the GOAT. So I did add this to a previous video where I did say it was one of the best games that was currently available for the Meta Quest platform. And well, you don't hear me say this often, but I was wrong. Now, the graphics felt really flat. There was zero life in the world, and you were very, very limited by the places you can go and move overall. And the game was a little boring. And even the fact you have a wolf dog doesn't help but drag this from where I'm going to put it on this list. So I'm going to put this in D tier, which is an actual shame because it is a game I felt had potential early on and before its release. So next up, we have Assassin's Creed Nexus. So now it's time to put on a hood and grab a hidden blade to see if Assassin's Creed can kill the competition on this list. Now, we all know Assassin's Creed Nexus and that it puts you in the shoes of previous heroes from the Assassin's Creed franchise, just this time in VR. And I must say, I love this game. Graphically, the game is solid, everything looks fantastic, as it probably should. The parkour is easy to use as you can just tap one button to jump over ledges, and it was a genuinely decent story that I'm sure 99% of people don't care about anyway. Now, playing as Cassandra is annoying because I did forget that I had my hidden blade on my left hand, and I always died because of it. And the AI is sometimes too dumb for its own good. And you know what? I can't even really be asked to go back and finish the game, even though I think I'm on like the last level or two, which is why I'm going to put it where I am, which is A tier. So Pavlov Shack is next, and as somebody in my comment section once said,
Pavlov Shack is one of those games you never forget, like one of those things you'll tell your grandchildren about.
And even though Pavlov Shack isn't a new game, it was a game that transitioned over to the Meta Quest store in the last couple of months, hence why it's on this list. Now, we all know what Pavlov is. Now, for those who may not, it is a team-based multiplayer VR shooter offering realistic weapons handling and diverse gameplay experiences, where you can engage in intense matches with over 65 weapons and attachments. It is quite literally the closest thing to Call of Duty we have in VR, so for that reason, I'm going to put this in A tier. And I'm pretty sure loads of people will agree with me on that one. So next up, we have Next Move VR. So I wanted to add Next Move to this list as it was a game that took me by surprise when I played it recently. The game doesn't require you to use a stick. Instead, you move your arms in a running motion and flick up your arms to jump, where you can shoot a gun at bats that try to attack you, and there is a variety of levels. There isn't much else I can say about this, so I'm just going to jump straight into the ranking, which is C tier. So next we have Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghostlord. When there's something strange in the neighborhood, Who are you gonna call? VR lad to rank Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord? No. So this is a very nostalgic title, being a person of the age who grew up with the original Ghostbusters. I was keen to play this game and I did quite enjoy it. Now the graphics in this are sharp, there is a decent story mode, and I did pay $2.99 in order to have Slimer. Nothing quite beats running around catching ghosts playing as a massive bugger. But also this game isn't for everyone, so I'm gonna put this in B tier. So next up we have Stride Fates. Now I'm really excited to rank this one. It is a game I actually really enjoyed, and this rating is probably gonna piss a lot of people off. But for those who may not know it, Stride Fates is a story-focused sequel to the game Stride. Now this game has been described by many as Mirror's Edge in VR, and I'm completely okay with it, as Mirror's Edge is a G of a game. This game has it all. It has a great story, excellent level design, and free running mechanics where you can sprint, wall run, and even swing with a grappling hook. You can shoot a variety of weapons, and while it did initially have some gunplay issues at launch, it was very quickly patched. I mean, this game really does have it all, lads, so I'm gonna put this in an easy D tier. No, I'm joking, S tier. So next up is Vampire the Masquerade. So if you love running around in the dark, sucking the blood of people and bats, then you should probably go and see a psychiatrist. But if you want to enjoy a VR vampire game where you can do all those things, then the Vampire Masquerade is for you. Now, as far as rankings go, I enjoyed this. The game and story mode is great. It has some genuinely unique moments with the controls being right on point. Now, the AI in this game is quite weird at times, but let's be honest, which game doesn't have really weird AI? However, with all this combined, I'm going to put this in A tier. So next up we got Sniper Elite VR Winter Warrior, not to be mistaken for the Winter Soldier. Well, in this type of game you assume the role of the partisan, who is an Italian resistance fighter during World War II. Now I will say the game's graphics are excellent, however I would say that the story came across a little bit like a DLC as opposed to a sequel, with the game being too linear without any option to explore and interact with objects in the world, and there were a few glitches in this game that detracted from the experience for me. So for that reason I'm going to put this in B tier. So next up we have Bulletstorm. Now this was a game that I didn't play much of due to some issues at early launch, so I would take this ranking with a large pinch of salt. But in case you don't know what Bulletstorm is, this is a sci-fi shooter with interesting and unique gunplay mechanics that rewards skillful kills with a decent story mode and voice acting. And now because I haven't played it that much, I can't really comment on the later stages of the game, so I'm going to put this at C tier. So next up we got Asgard's Wrath 2. So this game has been universally loved since it came out, so I'm not sure if this rating will give you guys a slight hernia. And assuming you don't know what this game is, it is a magic orientated adventure game with sword fighting mechanics and an expansive story. There is no doubt that the graphics on this game are great, the storyline is engaging enough to be fun, and it's long enough to justify the price tag. So where I'm not going to rate this as high as you think I am is because the weapons do not have any weight, and they should act more like bone, apple, blade and sorcery. And also the fantasy element isn't for everyone, and it's not really something that I'm particularly fond of myself. So let's put this one in B tier. So guys, what do you think of this rating? Let me know down below. Is everything as it seems?